Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. We thank Colin for joining us. And now we're going to do something that is just an incredible advancement in the culture of the Bronx. And where else but from Van Cortlandt Park? Let's say good evening to the Deputy Director of the Van Cortlandt Park Alliance, my longtime buddy and friend. It is Christina Taylor. Nice to see you always, Christina.
Always wonderful to see you.
Nice to have you with us. And she brought along Ashley Hart Adams, who's the Arts Integration Specialist at the Van Cortlandt Park Alliance. Always good to see you too, Ashley.
Great to see you. Thanks for having us.
So here's the big news. We're gonna mention the news, and then Christina will tell us what the heck is going on. The Mellon Foundation has provided, hold your breath, a $310,000 two-year grant to request for proposals to help formulate a design plan for the enslaved people's burial ground in Van Cortlandt Park. Yay. It's been a long time coming. Christina, tell us how exciting this really is, and try not to tell us how long we've been working to try. And I should mention, as both of them know, I'm on the board of the Van Cortlandt Park Alliance as well. But Christina, the floor is yours. We're so happy. What are we getting? What are we doing?
Thank you. Yeah, we're absolutely thrilled that we're finally at this point. We have been working on it for a while. So we've been working on trying to bring to light the true history of the enslaved people who helped build what we now know as Van Cortlandt Park. And one of that aspects has been the enslaved people burial ground and getting that renamed at our original Juneteenth ceremony several years ago. And, looking at this site, and we've been doing some work on it and really trying to improve it, but there's only so much we can do in-house. So we are very happy to have this grant from the Mellon Foundation that will give us the ability to bring in an outside consulting firm to really help us and guide us in the process, because it's very important for us to have community engagement. We want the community to have a say in what this is going to happen at this site. So we'll be working with the community over the next year or so to bring them in to get some input and some ideas of how this site could eventually evolve.
If you walk by there, which I have done, as you know, numerous times, if you walk by there, it's very overgrown. You have seen this video before, Christina. I don't think Ashley has, and it's going to be very enlightening for her. In 1995, when the Parks was thinking of putting tennis courts in that area, in that part of Van Cortlandt Park, I did a story about the burial ground with the Kingsbridge Historical Society. And at that time, because now, as you know, Ashley and Christina, it is all overgrown, but we were able to see the actual gravestones of the burial ground. So Anderson, through the magic of video, let's just take a look. This goes back, 20, 25 years, maybe even more, of a story I did in Van Cortlandt Park, where you can see the actual stones. So this is not just pretend, they're really there. Let's take a look.
We have 1,200 acres here, and out of the whole park, this is probably one of the richest areas in historical aspects and sites, probably of all New York City. There's a pre-colonial burial ground that was started in the late 1600s. Farther east of that is a Negro slave burial ground. Any other site in New York State, New York City, would love to have something from Indians to the Dutch to the Revolution to the burial ground. It's all right here. And again, out of 1,200 acres, I think they could leave these 5 acres or thereabout free for history. What you're looking at now is just a remnant of one of the headstones that was on the site. There was just stumps left. There's one here, there's one here, there is another one right over here. They run through as we would normally bury people in line. And throughout this whole site, it is just full of stones, which are the headstones of the burial ground.
So there you go. Ashley, what do you think? So it's really covered over, and 25 years ago, if you walk through the park, you could say, wait a minute, and it's never been acknowledged. And now this is why it's just so wonderful. It's so perfect. It's called, Christina mentioned the new name. It's the Enslaved African and Kingsbridge Burial Ground. Ashley, what are your hopes as the design arts integration specialist? What is your hope for taking this plot of land? What do you hope to do with it?
Our hope is through this project that we're able to engage Bronx-based and really New York City-based artists to work alongside the community to really get feedback from them and hear what are you hoping to see through this project? What are you hoping to experience through reimagining what this enslaved African burial ground could look like in the future? Um, I think that there's a history that's needing to be reckoned with, in this area, but also nationwide. And I'm really pleased with the progress that we're making. It's really moving to, see how long there's been, acknowledgement or stories about the enslaved African burial ground. To come this far and to continue pushing through, we really would like to engage the community on what they're hoping the destination of that place could
And
be.
and so, we're all proud of getting the grant from the Mellon Foundation, $310,000. You were telling me just before the show. So, what is the process that the people of the Bronx are going to be able to have input on what's going on here?
Yes, we'd love for everyone to go to our website, which is vancortlandt.org/EPP, EPP standing for Enslaved People Project, and sign up for our community workshops. These are opportunities for you to really engage in incredible arts-based activities and for us to get your feedback on what you're hoping to see through this project. And that the community will continue to come to our community events. Events like our Juneteenth event, that has continued to get larger and larger.
We have some pictures and video and stuff that I took at this year's. So go ahead, you keep talking, and Anderson's going to roll those pictures and video. Go ahead.
We'd love to. We actually renamed the Enslaved African Burial Ground on our first Juneteenth event in June of 2021, which is actually the year that it became a national holiday as well. So that event has just gotten bigger and bigger. At that very first event, we consecrated that land. We did a libation ceremony. We had African drumming and engaged in a lot of the traditions of the enslaved Africans. And we've kept up that tradition ever since. And it's gotten larger and larger and larger. We were so pleased with the turnout last year.
Oh, it was wild. Yeah, it was great.
We always invite everyone to those events. And those are also opportunities for folks to really engage with us. And we have more coming up soon.
You know what I loved? And I literally was standing there, I was watching. I might have even been standing next to you, Christina. And there was a Black woman, an older woman, who was so overcome. Now I'm going to get emotional about it. She was so overcome of being there, and everybody was laying a rose on top of the graves, and she prayed, and oh my goodness, that's what it means to people. This is not just a little thing. Christina, so once all the workshops are done and the community has had its say and Ashley is doing her magic and everything's going on, I guess there needs to be an infusion of more money to actually build the thing out. I mean, you can't create a museum, so to speak, unless you get more money, right? So this is what the process is going to be.
So yeah, this is phase one. The phase one is to get the community input, to get some design ideas. The next phase is, we do have to remember that this is on New York City Parks property. So
yes,
we have to work hand in hand with parks throughout this process. So at the end of this phase one, we'll have some ideas and we'll have input from the community that will help guide the process to determine what the final product should be, and hopefully have those designs to inspire people and to hopefully help us raise the funding needed to make this happen.
Research found that the enslaved African indigenous people worked on the Van Cortlandt plantation for over 100 years, and they were buried at the site adjacent to the family, according to, of course, this project, which documents the history of the plantation. What we used to know as Van Cortlandt Lake is now Hester and Pierrot's Mill Pond, all in honor of the people who built it, who are without them, we got nothing. I want to show the people who are watching us. I was walking by there, and I ran into our friend Noel, who was working with interns, and you can see in comparison to the bare stones what it looks like now and why it needs, to really become something special. So let's just take a look at me and Noel hanging out in Van Cortlandt. Video. Say your name and who you are, and I see the Van Cortlandt Park Alliance on your display. What are you doing today here at the Enslaved People's Burial?
I'm Noel from the Van Cortlandt Park Alliance. I'm the volunteer coordinator, and today we're working on the Enslaved People's Burial Ground. We're tidying it up getting it ready for winter.
And why do you need to get it ready for winter?
We'd like to give it just a kind of this is our last push of the season. So we'd like to take the opportunity to spread some wood chips out, which can provide some nutrients for the soil over the winter. It can also help with water retention for the soil. And we're doing a bit of invasive species control in the back there with a group of French exchange students from Lehman College.
Very nice. And these guys were working with you as they just walked away?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks, Noel, for helping us save the world.
Thank you, Gary.
All right, there you go. So that was just obviously an informal video, not a TV video, but it really shows the comparison how overgrown in the 25 years. The original video that I showed. Christina, so what should people look out for? First of all, they should come to Van Cortlandt Park. Period. You should always be in Van Cortlandt Park.
Step one.
Like I do. But Christina, what do we want to tell people right now that they should look out for so that they can participate in this and we can really make it our own, so to speak?
So we're hoping by early 2025 that we'll be doing these community workshops. So for now, people can go to our vancortlandt.org, our EPP page, and sign up to be a part of those community workshops to get notices about them. Also, we will be doing a poetry reading with David Mills, who is a local poet who's going to be publishing a book based on Bronx slavery. And he's going to do a reading at the museum on December 17th. So we hope everyone can come out for that. And also, Ashley's been doing some amazing educational programs with school groups, unearthing the past, building the future.
Bring out our kids.
I
want to just give Ashley a chance to speak. I don't mean to cut you off, but we're running out of time. Ashley, your vision is that this is going to, I used the word museum before, that this is really going to be a special place, isn't it?
My vision is that it's going to be a destination and that it's going to be an opportunity to honor the enslaved people who were inhabiting this land in a real proper way. And to add on to what Christina was saying, in the immediate, to engage even young people, we're hoping that teachers will reach out through the EPP page and join some of our educational programming, which is happening right now.
Nothing makes me happier when I walk through the park when I see school kids there, because there's so much to do. There's so much to learn. We get the kids out of school and we teach them about life in Van Cortlandt Park. Christina, you know how I feel. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us. And Ashley, you too. We're going to look to you for your vision. That's really important.
Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, we're going to say goodnight then. And that'll be the end of the program. And, if the curtain don't fall and the creek don't rise, we'll see you next week. And we'll build up Van Cortlandt Park, third largest park in New York City.